Have you ever wondered why loss hurts so much? Loss, in its many forms, is an unavoidable reality of life. It's as inevitable as the changing of the seasons, as certain as the rising and setting of the sun. Yet, for all its predictability, each loss we encounter brings with it a wave of emotions that can be overwhelming, confusing, and deeply painful. From the loss of a loved one to the end of a relationship, the departure of a treasured pet, or even the loss of a job or a dream, all of us will face loss. It's a common thread that weaves through every life, every culture, every corner of this vast planet we call home. But while loss is universal, the way we experience and process it is anything but. Some of us may retreat into silence, finding solace in solitude. Others may seek comfort in the company of friends, family, or even strangers who share a similar experience. Some may turn to art or music, pouring their feelings into creative expression, while others may find solace in the quiet contemplation of nature or a favorite book. Loss may be a universal experience, but why does it affect us in such unique and profound ways? To understand our reactions to loss, we delve into the often quoted stages of grief. This concept, introduced by the renowned Swiss psychiatrist Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, breaks down our emotional journey into 5 stages: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. The first stage, denial, acts as a shock absorber. It's a temporary defense mechanism that cushions use from the initial blow of loss. We might find ourselves refusing to acknowledge the reality, as if avoiding the truth could somehow undo what's happened. Anger, the second stage, is a natural reaction to the pain of loss. We might direct this anger towards ourselves, others, or even inanimate objects. It's a way of externalizing the pain we're feeling inside, a manifestation of the frustration that comes with loss. Bargaining, the third stage, is where we find ourselves making deals with a higher power, fate, or the universe. It's a desperate attempt to regain control, to find a way out of the pain. Depression, the fourth stage, is a deep sense of sadness and despair. It's not a sign of mental illness, but rather a natural response to grief. It's the point where the reality of loss sinks in, and we begin to understand the magnitude of our loss. Last but not least, acceptance. It's not about being okay with the loss, but rather acknowledging its reality. It's a stage of adjustment and readjustment, of finding a way to move forward. But it's crucial to remember that these stages are not linear. They're not boxes to be checked off in order. You may find yourself oscillating between stages, revisiting some multiple times, or even experiencing more than one at the same time. There's no right order or right way to grieve. It's a deeply personal process, unique to every individual. Remember, there's no correct way to grieve. Your journey is your own. Grieving is a personal journey, but there are coping strategies that can help you navigate through it. As we tread the path of loss and grief, it's important to remember that it's a uniquely individual experience, but there are common threads that can guide us. Firstly, allow yourself to feel the pain. Grief is an emotional wound, and like any wound, it needs time to heal. It's okay to cry, to feel numb, to be angry, or even to feel nothing at all. These feelings are all part of the healing process. The next strategy is to seek support from others. Lean on the people who care about you, whether they're family, friends, or members of a support group. They can provide a listening ear, a comforting word, or a shoulder to cry on. Remember, it's okay to ask for help when you need it. Taking care of your physical health is also an essential part of coping with grief. Grief can be physically draining, so it's important to eat a balanced diet, get regular exercise, and ensure you're getting enough sleep. These actions may seem small, but they can make a big difference in your overall well-being. Finding ways to remember your loved ones can also be a powerful coping strategy. This can be as simple as keeping a photo of them close by, or as involved as creating a tribute or memorial in their honor. These actions can provide a sense of connection and continuity, helping to keep their memory alive. Lastly, if your grief feels overwhelming or unmanageable, don't hesitate to seek professional help. A mental health professional can provide the tools and strategies to help you navigate your grief and can provide a safe, supportive space for you to express your feelings. These strategies are not a cure for grief, but they can provide comfort and aid in the healing process. Remember, it's okay to grieve. It's okay to feel, and it's okay to seek help. You're not alone on this journey. Grief doesn't exist in a vacuum. It can have significant impacts on our mental health. The profound sorrow that accompanies loss can often trigger or amplify a range of mental health issues. It is like a tidal wave that can engulf us, disrupting our emotional equilibrium and casting a long shadow over our mental well-being. Depression is one such mental health issue that is commonly associated with grief. The persistent feeling of sadness, the lack of interest in activities once enjoyed, the constant fatigue. These are not just signs of grief, but also hallmarks of depression. The lines between the two can blur, making it crucial to remain vigilant about our emotional health. Anxiety, too, can be a fellow traveler on the journey of grief. The uncertainty of a world without our loved one can trigger feelings of restlessness and worry. It can keep us up at night, make us feel on edge, and cause physical symptoms like a racing heart or shortness of breath. Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, can also be triggered by a traumatic loss. The mind, in an attempt to process the shock, can get stuck in a loop of distressing thoughts and flashbacks, causing intense emotional distress. Recognizing the impact of grief on our mental health is the first step towards addressing it. It's important to understand that these feelings and symptoms are not just normal parts of grieving. They are signs that our mental health may be suffering. And just as we would seek help for a physical ailment, we should also seek help for our mental health. Talking to a mental health professional can provide us with the tools and strategies needed to navigate the turbulent waters of grief. Support groups, too, can offer solace by connecting us with others who are navigating the same stormy seas. It's crucial to remember that seeking help is not a sign of weakness, but a step towards healing. Healing from loss is not about forgetting. It's about learning to live with the change. And that's a journey, not just a destination. It's about embracing the new normal while keeping a special place in our hearts for what we've lost. It's about acknowledging that loss has changed us, and that's okay. Healing doesn't mean we stop missing what's gone. Rather, it's about finding a way to carry that love, that memory, forward into the rest of our lives. We learn to cherish the moments we had, to laugh at the joy we shared, to cry when we need to, and to find peace in the midst of it all. Healing isn't a linear process. We may have good days and bad, moments of peace and moments of pain. It's a winding road, full of unexpected turns. But along this road, we learn resilience. We learn strength. We learn about the depths of our own hearts. And most importantly, we must remember that we don't have to walk this road alone. It's okay to lean on friends, family, or professionals for support. It's okay to ask for a hand to hold, a shoulder to cry on, a listening ear. Remember, it's okay to grieve, it's okay to heal, and it's okay to ask for help along the way. Thank you for joining us on this journey through grief and healing. We hope this video has shed some light on the complex, winding road that is the grieving process. Remember, there is no right or wrong way to grieve, and it's okay to ask for help. Whether it's reaching out to a loved one, a support group, or a mental health professional, remember you don't have to navigate this path alone. We hope this content has brought you some comfort insight, or even just reassurance that what you're experiencing is part of a widely shared human experience. Take care of yourself and those around you. Remember, even in the midst of loss, there is room for healing, love, and eventually, peace. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.